Okay, thank you.
We're dying. That's not like a hard thing to do. It's just I want to get it as close to even as I can on the recording, you know?
Mm-hmm. Where's your new doctor at, by the way?
Well, that is protected by HIPAA. I don't know if I want to. It is nearby.
Is it closer than your last one?
Oh, it's way closer than my last. It's still not like right around the corner, but it's like way closer than the last one. But yeah, it was good. I feel good about my new doctor.
Good report.
Yeah, we should probably wait until after the banter portion.
Oh, sorry.
So that it doesn't get cut off. Well, no, and it's just so that it doesn't get cut off, because I know this is like an important part of our lore.
Good wording or dying.
is my search for a primary care physician. Like, we've been gone for over a month now, Sam. The people want to know, like, what happened to your butthole.
No longer itchy.
No, not itchy, not bleedy. It's fine. It's like a perfectly normal butthole now. First thing I did was go to Chipotle.
Did it feel just as good as new?
Oh, it was great. I was like, this is how normal people feel when they eat Chipotle. No wonder they like it so much.
I haven't had Chipotle in a long time.
Whenever I'm on the road with Brad, he like forces me to go to Chipotle. Which, I mean, okay, listen, I like Chipotle. He's not forcing me, but still, that's like Brad's go-to on the road is Chipotle.
They used to have this thing, I don't know if they still have it, when I was in college, where you could wrap yourself in tinfoil or just dress like a burrito on Halloween and get free Chipotle.
That's so funny. And I know you did that every year. I know that day was marked on your calendar.
Yeah, I don't know if it was across the books or they just felt bad for us that we went through the effort.
Yeah, I remember I was like, so when I got to college, my like freshman year, I was so just like insulated that like the first time I went to Jimmy John's, and that was the first time I went to Jimmy John's was when I went to college, because like they didn't have Jimmy John's in Hamtramck, right? So like the best thing we had was a Rally's. That was like the most exotic thing. Like they built a Rally's in Hamtramck, and everyone's like, "Oh, this city's doing better. Like, this city's really on the up and up now." So we didn't have like Jimmy John's, and we didn't even have like a Subway. Like it was literally just like McDonald's, Wendy's, and Rally's. That's all we had for fast food. And so when I got to college, that was the first time I went to Jimmy John's. And I remember going to Jimmy John's for the first time and just like, how they have like the signs everywhere? Mm-hmm. Just being like, beware of loose women? I was like, do you see that? That's crazy.
I love the restaurant selection on college campuses.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They know that we're cutting loose for the first time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much impossible for a fast food restaurant to go out of business on a college campus.
Yeah.
Especially like a major university.
Mm-hmm.
Because my freshman year, I was at U of M, so it was like a big campus,
I loved the 50-cent loaves the next day at Jimmy John's of the day-old bread that they didn't make into sandwiches. The poor in me. I got many a plain loaf of bread.
Loaf of bread and mayonnaise.
Yeah. And I would eat it like Aladdin.
Oh, you mean on a flying carpet? No, my go-to poor sandwich was just like bread, like just a regular like white bread or like Italian or French or whatever. Because we were like European, so we still got like good bread, but like it would just be like a piece of bread, like bakery bread, and just a little bit of mayo and like 1 or 2 slices of Kraft American Singles.
Ooh. Was it for real Kraft or was it store brand?
It was Kraft. It was Kraft.
That Kraft, little Kraft splurge, right?
Yeah,
there.
well, my grandfather worked overtime, so.
I haven't had a Kraft American Single in too long.
I have them in the fridge right now. It's so funny because Keith gets all kinds of, he'll get like provolone and Swiss and cheddar. He like, gets all these like different cheeses for sandwiches. And like he'll see me making a sandwich. He's like, we have all those cheeses and you're eating Kraft Singles. I'm like, yeah, because I haven't forgotten where I come from.
Do you put it on chili?
No, I don't put it on chili. I do shredded cheddar on chili, but the Kraft Singles, when I meal prep like breakfast sandwiches, that's what the Kraft Singles are for. Oh. Like I'll meal prep, like I do these like English muffin breakfast sandwiches where I take eggs, but I oven bake them. So like I scramble them up and stuff, and then I put like what's it called? Cornstarch in them. And some like baking powder, and that keeps them like fluffy and fresh even after you freeze them and microwave them. And so like I do that, and then I oven bake them like in a pan. In like
a muffin pan or regular
like a tin, like a cookie tin, like I just get the disposable foil ones, I bake that, and then I get I get a roll of turkey sausage, and then a roll of just lean ground beef, and I cut them together, and I make my own little like sausage patties, and I fry those, and then English muffins, and I make like a little sauce out of like mayo and sriracha and I can never say it right, the gochujang. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. It's like a Korean, like kind of sauce.
Yeah.
It's like a little spicy. Mm-hmm. I do that, a little bit of, like I said, the sriracha and some mayo and some honey. And I just kind of like whip that up, put a little slither on the English muffin. I take the eggs from the pan and I cut them into like 6 squares. Put that on next. The sausage patty, and then slice of American Kraft Singles.
That sounds delicious.
And then I freeze them, and I just microwave them when I go to work all week.
Does one keep you full for a while?
Yeah, one gets me to lunch for sure.
I feel so fat because as delicious as that sounds, in my mind, I'm thinking I would need more. I would need a hash brown or something.
Well, I do that when I'm like trying to eat reasonably, Like I could easily eat 2 or maybe even 3 of them. But like if I eat one, like I'm not stuffed, but like I'll get to lunch. Like I'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's how we're supposed to feel. Mm-hmm. And I have a problem stopping that. I know that I need to go to OA, but I'm not willing to meet the first step. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess knowing that I need it is the first step.
There you go. You're one step closer. Mm-hmm. Just get on that Ozempic, like everybody else. Stop shitting,
Oh, I'm so jealous.
What, of not shitting?
I'm already there. I sent you my X-ray.
You've got the side effects without any of the benefits.
Yeah. My metabolism is already real slow.
Yeah, but the story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise wins in the end.
I feel bad for whichever nursing home I end up in, because that is not going to be a fun journey for whatever CNA is stuck with me. I'm going to have to carve that out.
It's going to be like John Wayne. Is that like, do you know about that? The John Wayne thing?
No.
So, like, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, But allegedly, when he died, they had to pull like 9 pounds of shit out of his body because all he ate was red meat.
So then, yeah, it would be like John Wayne.
I don't know how true that is, but that's that. I mean, Reddit said it, so I think it's pretty true.
Yeah, I heard he wasn't too cool of a person. So
no, he was kind of a dick. So that's why I'm kind of inclined to believe it.
9 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet I had that much. That X-ray I sent you, that's 5 feet of poop inside me. Oh, great, slender poop, but still snaking through.
I mean, I had a pretty impressive one a couple weeks ago. I took a picture and sent it to the Bert Selleck boys. They weren't happy about that.
Lauren's husband, Lauren Ulick's husband, Nick, he's like obsessed with the fact that I can go 3 weeks without going. And he is like, I want to see what it looks like when it comes out. So I will send him pictures of it in the toilet, but it's so hard because our toilet is shaped weird that I will like take things to put kind of beside the toilet for reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive. Like 14 to 16 inches.
Yeah,
mine at a time.
Yeah, mine. The one from a few weeks ago was probably pushing that. I would say it was like maybe 12 inches.
Yeah, and it's
like I can't just keep this to myself.
Yeah,
I gotta share this with someone.
When you see, was it all in one piece? Still,
it was still one piece.
That's so beautiful.
One piece, completely straight and flat. No coil, no nothing. Just one continuous log. You know. It's like, how did that come out of my body? Like it's just straight.
That's how all of mine look too. It is when it's that continuous.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a masterpiece.
Should be in the Louvre.
I always regret not weighing myself first.
It's like how parents measure like their kids' height. Mm-hmm. You're like, you just before every shit, you just weigh yourself. And you have like a log journal, like a weightlifter. A literal log journal.
Oh, my primary still doesn't take it seriously. I'm a little iffy on this new primary. She like doesn't listen to me. So I run a lot, and if I'll take a break of something like after surgery. I took a break. But I met with her, and she was like, the patient's overweight, isn't doing anything to solve it, has chronic constipation, but doesn't even has all these things. Why? Of course, yeah, she would have chronic constipation. And I have a hard time not taking like an attitude when I'm there.
Yeah.
And then I see her again earlier this month and trying to explain some things to her. And she's trying to attribute it to my weight again. And I filled out all of these surveys about my lifestyle habits before the meeting.
The crappening.
Yes. And I mentioned like in the survey thing, like I don't drink at all. And then I mentioned to her in the appointment, yeah, I don't drink. And then I was rereading my file after, and she wrote, drink socially. And I'm like, frustrated. And she did my lab work. She tested me for like all the different tests associated with diabetes, and came back not even pre-diabetic. And she's like, well, just keep exercising not just keep exercising. Try exercising and try improving your diet.
And this is your new primary.
Yeah. I miss my old primary. If she left Epic, I would like go back to her in a heartbeat.
The one that I was going to, I just got a letter in the mail saying that she left. They still call me constantly.
Yeah, same.
Like I haven't been there in over a year now. And they still constantly call me like, oh, you're due for your next appointment. I'm like, I'm not doing it with you.
Yeah. Yeah. They tried like sending me a couple letters saying I still owed them money at first. And I want to be like, okay, prove it. I haven't seen you in a long time. But
yeah, I feel like that whole operation is just a scam.
yeah, at 100%. The disclosures, did you ever read the disclosures?
I've never read the disclosures.
Oh,
no.
they're way more shady than any regular hospital.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing that like frustrated me about them is that like I'm sitting there in the like the room, whatever, the observation room or whatever it's called, you know, and they're trying to make my next appointment
On speakerphone?
On speakerphone. I'm like, you have a computer right outside of the room. Like, why don't we just wait until this is done and then you can just punch in my next appointment on the computer? Mm-hmm. And they try to put me on speakerphone with their like phone bank, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Oh, they did that to me so many times, and they still call me, and I haven't been there in 2 or 3 years. And I looked her up again to see if she was still there, and she is. I hope that she leaves soon as well.
Well, I got a new primary.
How was your new primary?
I like him a lot. He's like, so I had a few criteria when I was looking. The biggest one was I just wanted them to be younger than me, so that like I would die before them. So that like this is my doctor for the rest of my life, you know? So he's younger than I am. He's like in his mid-30s, I think. And I wasn't really looking for this, and I don't really need it right now, but I'm not far away from it. But he specializes in geriatric care. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to grow into his specialty.
Chose wisely.
Yeah. And I don't know. I kind of just got a vibe when I saw his profile. And I was like, oh, this is going to be someone who actually understands the things that I need, you know, like, you know, my prep prescription and stuff like that. Like so many primaries that I've had to like explain to them what it is, you know? And when I went in on my first appointment, I mentioned that I take prep, and he immediately was like, oh yeah, cool. We'll set up a little thing for you.
Hey. Younger doctors.
Yeah. And he knew my proctologist. So yeah, I don't know. I felt good about him. I'm having my second appointment with him in like a month, I think. I brought up my knee issues. He sent me to get x-rayed. I got the x-rays back. Next appointment, I think he's going to obviously go over the x-rays with me and probably set up some kind of like PT time for my knees.
That's huge.
Yeah.
If surgery was recommended for your knees, would you take it?
Yeah, in a second, because my knees are so bad. I just want to like not have this anymore.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how young most people actually get their knee surgeries.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm whatever I need to do, because I'm never going to be able to play basketball like I used to, but I want to be able to at least play a little bit, you know?
Yeah. It sucks, the elongated pathway that people have to take. So how you have to do physical therapy at least enough times so the insurance company sees that.
Yeah, well, and also the x-ray thing, because like he wanted to do MRIs, but he can't do the MRI until I've done x-rays and what's it called? Physical therapy. So like I got to go through all of those things before I can even get an MRI. And I'm pretty sure the MRI is going to like tell him exactly what's wrong with me. You know?
Yeah. Insurance companies would save more money in the long run if they didn't need.
Well, but that's the thing. That's why it's such a big scam, right? Because yes, everyone would save more money in the long run, but also they wouldn't be getting money for the use of the equipment. You know what I mean? Like they're making a lot of money too, because not necessarily the insurance company, but like, you know, the hospital is making a bunch of money because you're using an MRI machine. And they're working like together because where the insurance company loses, the more stuff that you use, the more they can charge you needlessly. Like, they don't have to charge you more. Like, you're not costing them any more money, but they can point to it like, well, you're using a lot of services, so we're gonna have to hike up your rate. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on that one transaction, they might be losing some money, but in the long run, they're gonna be making more money because they can charge you more now.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you have way more ailments now, so we have to cover our costs.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason why it's taking me for like weeks to get my MRI done is because when I called to schedule it with Corewell Health now, they told me that they needed prior authorization from the insurance company before I could even get it, which is wild because when I do go to these one-off private MRI places, they will do it no matter what because they just want money.
Yeah.
I've had to pay a couple up front and then they just pay me back.
Yeah.
But the fact that this hospital system won't even do it until they get the go ahead from insurance.
It's funny, when I was trying to get the x-ray, they were sending me to they just have these places that you can go to get x-rays, and my doctor told me I don't need an appointment. Mm-hmm. The first place that I went to were like, well, you need an appointment. I got there, I didn't know when they were closing. I went after work. So I got there and they were telling me that they were closed, but they were going to check with the technician, and then the technician told them no. And I was like, all right, well, when do you guys close? And the kid that was at the desk that was dealing with me grabbed the sign on the desk and turned it towards me. And it was a Thursday, I think, and it said Monday through Thursday, 8 to 9 or 8 to 6. And I looked at my phone, and my phone said 5:55, and I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I was like, I could have made a stink, say, "Well, you still have 5 minutes," but I don't want someone who can't tell time working on my fucking X-ray.
Yeah.
So I left. I went to my car. I Googled the different places I could go, and there was one 10 minutes away that was open till 9. So I just went there instead.
That's wild.
Yeah.
At least I will give Corewell this because I did have to do an x-ray through them. As long as you are in the office by close, even if you walk in 2 minutes before, they will still scan you.
Yeah, not this place. Because this is Corewell.
Yeah. Oh, that was Corewell too?
Yeah, that was Corewell. I specifically look for Corewell places because that was where I started going to so they have all my records. So I try to stay with Corewell doctors, just so that I don't have to do all this crazy oh, you got to go get your files and bring them over, just whatever. So yeah, I mean, that was Corewell. I just think that office just wasn't really managed that good, Yeah. Because the confidence that he showed me their hours, and it said 6 o'clock, and I looked at my phone, and I'm like, well, in my head, I'm just like, well, we're 5-2 still.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. So I was going to their main neurology office on 13 Mile. Next to their hospital.
I think the one that I went to, the one that I can't remember, the one that happened in, I think was Redford, maybe. It was Redford or whatever is east of Redford. It was there. It was the one that's off of Grand River.
Oh, that might be they do have a Farmington-ish location.
It might have been Farmington. Actually, I think that was it. I think it was Farmington. So I went to that one first. That's the one where they were like, well, we can't do it. And then I noticed that there was one in Wayne, which is about 10 minutes down the road. So I just went to that one instead. And that's the one that I got the x-ray at.
Yeah. I just started doing what you were doing and just doing all core well because I didn't care if it was like scattered a bit, and now all my records are
all over the place.
Yeah.
I had to one time go to my doctor and get my physical files and bring them to another doctor, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. I was like, if only there was like one system where everyone could just access everything.
Yeah, so that's also going to contribute to it probably taking longer to diagnose whatever I have.
Yeah.
I'm excited that your knees will hopefully start feeling better.
Yeah, hopefully.
2026.
2026. Watch out, Rec League. I'm coming. Watch out, 40 and over Rec League. You thought LeBron coming to the NBA was a big deal. Just wait.
What have you, besides health stuff getting finally figured out, what have you been up to the last month and a half since we've seen each other?
I've been using Chat GPT a lot.
You're wasting so much water, Alex.
You know what? Whatever. It's there. People are going to be using it. Billionaires are using it. I'm not going to let them fucking beat me.
I only used it for our clips or to the program that we used to edit their clips. That's it. And one time I did have a friend in crisis who was showing me their results from getting therapy via ChatGPT, and I was worried about them, so I did try asking ChatGPT what they were talking with that friend about, thinking that it would disclose that.
So the way it works, it can't, like, if you start a chat and then you start a new chat, it can't look at that chat, even if it's your chat. Like, it doesn't have the ability. I mean, I'm sure it can, but their programming blocks it from being able to look from chat to chat to keep information. Now, they did add one wrinkle recently where it has like a centralized memory bank for your account. And if you specifically tell it to remember something, it'll store it in that central bank, and then that will go across all your chats. But it doesn't just inherently remember everything. And the memory is limited. And there's like only so much that you can put in there. Like, you will hit your limit, and it'll eventually be like, oh, I can't store that because you don't have enough space left. So then you have to like delete something if you want to keep that thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I know it's the future. I hope that they try to make it more sustainable ecologically.
It easily can be. Like, there's no reason why these AI systems can't be more sustainable. But because they're pretty much all owned by billionaires, and billionaires don't give a shit, it probably never will. But at the same time, they are using it. And if you are not using it, you're kind of going to be fucked. You know, like, that's just, all technology has been like that. If you don't keep up with it, regardless of how destructive it is, it's going to be worse. You know, I'm
going to be that senior Alex that is like flipping off this is going to be the thing that I dig my heels into.
I'm not saying, I'm not like trying to convince anybody to use it or not, and I'm not trying to convince anybody that it's good. I think it's like kind of, in its current implementation, it's just ruining the internet. Like, there's just so much on the internet that just sucks now because of AI. My thing with it though is, you can implement it correctly, and it can be something that's like very, very useful. And also, I hate calling it AI because it's not. Yeah. It's not thinking. Yeah. It's trained. Yeah. So when you ask it a question, it's not in real time like, how do I respond to this? What it's doing is it's like quickly scouring its database and going through a bunch of like if-else statements to try to figure out how to respond to you. So like, it's not actually thinking, it's just doing math problems, and whatever calculation leads it to whatever best response there is, that's what it gives you.
I think that some people rely too heavily on it and believe everything that it tells them. The whole Chicago Sun-Times book list thing was an embarrassment.
I don't know anything about that. What is that?
So the Chicago Sun-Times and a couple other publications ran this summer reading book list, and half the titles were not.
Even, so it was clear they just had ChatGPT give them a list of books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that new RFK health statement with all those publications that don't exist. So a lot of people are pretty sure that they use ChatGPT heavily to write that.
So I have a good one. Right after the election, I asked ChatGPT, not right after the election. It was like about a month. It was like it was just before Trump's 100 days. We were like somewhere around like 87 days or something like that. I asked ChatGPT, I was like, hey, do you think that America is living, are we a fascist country now? And ChatGPT was like, well, I don't think so, blah, 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 blah. And then it said something about like, I mean, there's a possibility if Donald Trump gets elected. I'm like, oh, your data is from like 6 months ago. So then I started saying, well, what if Donald Trump did this? And I started listing all the things that he had actually done up until that point. And then ChatGPT was like, oh, wow, well, you better start planning to get out of there. I'm like, well, what if Donald Trump starts deporting legal American residents to slave labor camps in South America? It was like, well, that would be over and above fascism. I was like, would you like me to help you craft a asylum letter? And I was like, yes.
I get so worried. And then I watch shows like Andor, and all these people are putting themselves out there, making a difference in this fictional sense. Yeah. And I'm like, I need a show where people are just regular schmucks. I think that's why so many folks still watch The Office. And
that's totally valid. That's totally valid because for the first 100 days, I was just like watching every political left-wing commentator that I could possibly find on YouTube just constantly. And I was like going crazy. And so like now I'm just like, give me like Curtis Connor or something. Like give me some like stupid movie that he found that he's reviewing. Another channel I like is called Gamer Ranks. They just talk about video games. I'm like, yeah, what's fucking coming out next month? Like, just give me, I need something.
Yeah, because we're in a time where it feels so helpless.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, I don't know. It's like not even, I mean, yes, it is like a helpless like time. I think a lot of people do feel helpless. I don't think people like should, because it's not like this is the first time something like this has happened. It's just that like we're actually experiencing it now. It's not like something that we're reading in a history book. Mm-hmm. You know, like I have family members that are old enough that have lived through this already, you know, like in their home countries and whatever. So it's like, it's not like this is like a new thing. It's happened before. I think the difference though is that like when if we're talking about like Nazi Germany, they didn't have Twitter, you know, they didn't have a 24-hour news cycle. So like you would hear, I would imagine that back then you would hear something about Hitler once a month maybe. And then there would be like 30 days of just like farmer fucked the pig or something. You know, like, so I think that's heightening this whole experience because it's just constant, like Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump is doing bullshit again. Like, you know, it's all that kind of stuff. And that's not to like minimize it, because it's not something to minimize. Like, it's very real and it's very scary.
I mean, in the US it feels unprecedented.
Well, 100%, because we've never had anything like, at least not this mask off. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I would argue the Bush administration was
Reagan.
Well, I don't know much about Reagan. I was still just a baby. But you know, just knowing some of the things that he's done, like Iran Contra, you know, like that wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Yeah.
I actually experienced the Bush administration. Like I was old enough to understand what was going on in that era. And I know that era is like kind of forgotten at this point because it's like, you know, 20 years ago now. But like I would argue a lot of stuff going on in the Bush years were similar to this. Like he literally had people like in intelligence agencies and different parts of the government literally shredding documents in front of everyone. You know, like I mean, he was more friendly presenting than Donald Trump was. Like, you know, he was like the big thing. I remember when George W. Bush was in office, it was people would always be like, well, I feel like I can have a beer with George W. Bush. You know, a lot of people I don't think feel that way about Trump, other than like his sycophants. But like anybody who's not in the cult is like, no, this guy is a fucking terror. You know. And so I think that's why we kind of maybe don't look to the Bush era as much as we probably should to try to like kind of like relate to what's happening right now. Because really that's where a lot of our stuff went away. I mean, you know, the Patriot Act, like that's where like the really glaring stripping of our rights started. You know, like rights had already been starting to go down. Like there was a war on the New Deal for decades before that, but it was all like little minuscule, like minor micro steps. The Bush administration really accelerated the breaking down of the New Deal, and now Trump is just shitting all over it.
Do you think it's possible to repair it?
I think it is, but it's going to be hard at this point. I mean, he's already trying to push through bills that are going to make elections, you know, fake at this point. That's really kind of the only. I shouldn't say that's the only hope. That is the only hope of turning this around in a like way that people don't start getting hurt. Mm-hmm. Is if we can go to a ballot and vote for somebody else. If that gets taken away, it's not going to be pretty because Americans aren't used to this. Americans aren't going to just like lay down. And if you start taking away things that they used to be able to do and tell them you can't do it anymore, it's going to not be cute. It's just not. It's not going to be cute. Like we've become very docile. But I think there's certain things that are just like a step too far. And if those things get taken away, people are not going to be happy about that. And I think that's going to be enough to snap them out of it.
I hope so. I mean, I hope that we don't get to that point. I hope that if we do, that people do snap out of it instead of just rolling over.
Yeah. And that's not even me saying like, Democrats are going to snap out. Everybody. I think everybody's going to snap out of it. I think, you know, Democrat, Republican, whatever, people are going to finally start to realize, oh shit, wait a minute, we've been taken for a ride.
Yeah. It is a little nice to see some of the people who only voted for him because the cost of groceries or whatever are starting to be like, maybe not the best idea. Oh, I gotta love the whole tariff thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny. Like, so around 2007, when the housing market crashed, right before all that happened. No, actually, no, not 2007. It was COVID. It was right before COVID. I got a pretty good promotion at work. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to finally be able to catch up. And then COVID happened and inflation. And I was like, oh no, I'm like actually worse than I was before this fucking promotion. Beginning of the year, this year, got another pretty decent promotion. I'm like, finally, I'm going to be able to finally start catching up. Tariffs. Cool, man. Thanks. I guess I'm just going to always be fucking in like unmanageable debt.
I finally told Santiago how much credit card debt I had. He's like, how did it get so high? I'm like, living, a car insurance is the biggest one for me.
Yeah. I mean, I have never just paid money for car insurance. It's always been on my credit card. I just had to get new tires on my car. Credit card.
Yeah. On my old Prius, right before I put two new, like a whole set of tires on it, and then I did the battery, and both of those combined cost me almost $2,000.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the last things we talked about on here.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's part of that debt. It's unfortunate, and I don't know what to do. Like, if I should start. I'm having a midlife crisis right now.
Honestly, I think the only thing that you can do is, I think the idea of being debt free, I think, is a fairy tale. I think anybody who like who aspires to that isn't like just like objectively rich is just setting themselves up for a lot of stress. I think it's just about managing. It's about just not passing a certain threshold. You know, it's about keeping it at a place where like you can just kind of like, it'll go up a little bit, but then you can like kind of pull it back down a little bit. And I think it's just, that's just the reality, is like you just have to kind of like live in that space.
I have to get used to it. I was tempted to start looking for jobs within the state still, because the benefits are just ridiculously good. That isn't so financially dependent on federal funding. And my boss assured us that we had enough money stocked away in our little savings thing to like get us through, even if they cut our funding, to get us through a year, like 12 months.
Okay, what happens after that?
Yeah. And so there was like a couple jobs in the state that I applied for, but the market is so saturated right now with a ton of researchers that got laid off, who are way more qualified than I am, who are willing, for them it'd be a pay cut, for me it'd be a raise. But
and here's the thing, you could undercut them and just say, I'll take less money, and they'll hire you, no questions asked. They would. Like, we don't value skilled workers here. We want cheap workers here. Like that's what we want. Like, that's why when you graduate from college and you're looking for your first job, that's why every entry level position is like 5 years experience, 5 years experience, a master's degree. That's like an entry level job, because like they don't want to pay you money. Like they want to like kind of rip you off basically, which is like, okay, well then how does like the college kid get a job? Like, you want 5 years of experience. Where the fuck are they going to get that experience?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they can do internships and get experience. Okay, so work for free. So be your slave.
It's ridiculous. I also feel like Senate confirmations, there should be 40. If you're going to make regular people do 40 interviews, you shouldn't have to do that many confirmation hearings. Are you happy with your career choice?
Yeah, I mean, yes, because like, I mean, I do my day job, of course, because, comedy doesn't make me any money, but or any of the podcasts I do. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm a web developer. I do enjoy coding. I don't enjoy having to code what like they want me to code, but like I do enjoy like my own little stupid projects that I do. None of them are like big things. They're all just like dumb. Like I made a website over lockdown. I wanted it to be like an old school GeoCities site. And it just, I was trying to make it the most useless website on the internet. And the URL, it's gone now. It doesn't exist. I stopped paying for it. But the URL was testes123.org. And I mean, it was just nothing. It was literally nothing. There was literally nothing. Like there was one section, if you clicked on it, it was just a picture of Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein. And this song by, I forget the name of the song, but it's by like Raphael Ravenscroft started playing in the background. And it would just, the song would start playing, and then the picture of them would just slowly start like zooming in, and by the end of the song you're just like in their nostrils. And the song is just about like lovers who just have this like animal instinct towards each other.
Why did you give that up?
It was just expensive and like whatever. But I made it like there was like a guest book. Remember how they used to have guest books on websites where you go and sign in and whatever? And there was like a visitor counter. So I was just like, it was just like stuff like that. Like I had a rap name generator. And then what else? Oh yeah, I had another thing that was like, it was just like two questions. It was like one question actually. It was just do dudes rock, yes or no? And if you hit yes, it just showed you like an animated GIF of Tecmo Super Bowl when like you score a touchdown, and it's like the animation screen where they like high five each other. And then if you said no, it was just, I don't even remember what it said. It just said something like screw you, dude, dudes do rock. And it was just like a picture of Van Damme dancing in I forget what movie it was. I think it was like Hard Target or something. He's in some Asian jungle village or something. And he's like in a bar and he gets drunk and he's like all like dancing and stuff, and he's just like a white guy with all these like Asian people. I think it was Hard Target. I can't remember what movie it was now, but yeah, it was like that. I mean, it was just like stupid shit.
When did you get into coding?
Pretty much like when I got my first job out of college. Like I went to college to be a computer science major, but I didn't do any coding in high school. Like I didn't know anything about anything. And I went to U of M my first year, and their computer science program at the time, at least, I don't know if it's still the case, but at the time was one of the hardest computer science programs in the country. And the intro class was the weed out class. And so I took that class and just had no idea what was going on. And and then I took like a couple more after that, just trying to like get in and whatever, and that just like destroyed my GPA. And so I had to transfer out because I just couldn't get into any other program because my GPA was so low. And then didn't do any coding for a long time after that until I graduated. And then when I got my first job, I had to like make the HTML emails that we were sending out, and that got me kind of like back into it. And then I just kind of like slowly started learning more and more on my own.
If you didn't do comedy, would you still keep the same career path, or would you switch? Like if you could choose any other career path besides the one that you're in right now.
I mean, that's what I would do. It's the best thing for me because I don't want to like interact with people. Like I just want to go to work and do my thing and go home. Mm-hmm. And the only other place that I could do that would be like a factory, and like these are not factory hands, so like I got nothing but respect for factory workers, but you would be calling me gay all day, so
I'm such a slow mover. I would piss so many people off.
I would die, I think, if I worked in a like I would literally die. Like there's just no, I think about just going back to like the service industry, and I'm like, death. I would die. Like I wouldn't survive.
Oh, they have so much patience, service industry.
Patience, but like it's hard. It's a hard job. You're on your feet all day. You're constantly moving. You have to interact with like a million people, and like most of them are dickheads. Like there's no way. I just could not go back to that.
Yeah.
Which is why my plan, if I get laid off from my web developer job and I can't find another one, is just OnlyFans. Those are my options.
Do you already have your name figured out?
No, I don't have the name figured out, but I mean, ChatGPT will probably help me with that.
Yeah, maybe you could, if you had your website back, you could use the name generator.
The rap name generator would just be my OnlyFans name. G Mac Bishop.
100,000 subscribers.
No, but I am serious. Like if I get laid off, which I probably will, and then I can't find another job, I'm probably most likely going to just start doing OnlyFans. Because at this point, I'm not going back to, service industry. I'm too old. It would take me too long to get back into the swing of being able to like work an entire shift on my feet. Like I would be dead. I literally would be dead.
Part of me was even just dabbling of doing the medical industry, but I don't know that I have the emotional bandwidth to do that.
I think that's like the perfect job for you. Just like how dark your comedy is. Like that's like, I would feel like that's just like your natural like environment is the medical industry.
I mean, a lot of medical professionals love my set. I get a ton coming up after my shows telling me like, oh yeah, the dark stuff, great. But
yeah, I feel like your sense of humor would be like perfect for the medical industry.
Yeah. I am envious of the amount of fulfillment that they get to have, whether or not they actually feel it, because they are helping so many people. And I get that there's a ton of ungrateful patients. And I know that this is hypocritical, that I am venting about how much I hate my provider. But there are a ton of good folks out there in the medical field.
I feel like I'm seeing one of them. And I mean, my doctor, like a few doctors ago, the one that I was at before I went to Epic, he was a good doctor. It was just his office sucked. Like I couldn't deal with his office anymore.
Yeah, it's they're the worst.
Yeah, like it was like he was fine. I didn't have a problem with him. It was just his office staff was just so bad. Like it would take hours for me to get through. It was just like I can't do this anymore.
And you and I went to different locations we both have the same experience.
Well, this is before Epic though.
Oh,
this is before Epic. I mean, Epic wasn't good either, but like it's the reason why I left my doctor and went to Epic, because like my original doctor's office was just so bad, and then I went to Epic, thinking, I mean, obviously. It wasn't like, oh, this place. It was just like, I'm going to try this place out. Like, it's in an area that I want to kind of be in. So I'm going to try it out. And it was fine at first. Like the first doctor I had was like really good. And, it was good at first because I didn't realize that it was just like a glorified, like, urgent care.
Yeah.
Like Epic is just kind of like one step above an urgent. Like urgent cares are like all nurses. This is like what an urgent care would be if like actual doctors were there. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of like what Epic is. And so with my first doctor, I didn't know that yet because I thought it was just like an office, right? So I was fine. My first doctor was good. He was, again, a younger guy. And then within months of getting there, he left. And I was like, okay. So then they gave me another doctor. And that doctor was fine. But then, like, within a few months, they left. And I'm like, where am I? What the fuck is going on? Like, why do I have a different doctor every time I come here? And then, like, after that, everything just started, like, breaking down. Like, the phone bank sucked. They started making me have to, like, make my own appointments with a needle in my arm. I'm like, what are you guys doing in this office right now? I'm, like, in the x-ray machine, and they're like, speakerphone, when do you want to come back? Like, no, stop. So like, yeah, so then that is what motivated me to find my current doctor. And I've only been to him once, granted, but I'm getting really good vibes. I think he's good.
Hopefully it keeps up.
Yeah.
What shows do you have coming up?
Nothing. No, I've got some stuff. Oh shit, I forgot to put it in my calendar. Oh, I want to say it's like July 25th or somewhere around there. I'm going back to Sheboygan. I'll be doing the Hive North.
Ooh. Are you bringing John again?
No, John got his own date.
Oh.
And John is bringing Diego to open for him.
I would love to be in that car. I'm so jealous.
But John's already like freaking out about it. He's like, I think I'm just gonna tell Diego to close. I'm like, no, shut up. Diego's gonna open for you. You're gonna fucking close.
It's good practice.
Yeah. I mean, you're in like a low stakes, and not to say that it's not like a good show. It is a good show, but it's a show where they're like
generous.
They're generous, and they're more than happy that you're there, just because not a lot of people go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, are willing to make the drive. Yeah.
Right. So it's low stakes in that sense, where like no matter what, they're gonna like you. You know, even if they don't think you're funny, they're still gonna like you. You know? They're still gonna like respect you because you went there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, no, go. Even if you don't think you're ready to headline, just go do that room, because that room will be your marker. You know?
Yeah, everyone when we start headlining or like start headlining more frequently, like we all have sets that we're like, we feel weird about. But it was good that they trusted us to be that vulnerable and that we were stretching our legs.
Yeah.
I am trying to find our good morning word trying.
I think I have some other stuff. I think I have like open mics and stuff too. I can look that up real quick while you're trying to find that.
Was it in Facebook chat or was it
No, that was Instagram. So June 9th, which I think is like 2 Mondays from now, I'll be at Blind Pig. Diana Graham asked me if I want to open for Deanne Smith.
Ooh, I love Diana.
So I am doing that with them on June 19th. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Deanne Smith remembers me this time. I've opened for Deanne so many times and they just never remember me. I think Diana is specifically putting me on this show because they were talking to Deanne about me because I opened for Deanne at Limestone, and I think Diana casually mentioned me and Deanne was like, who? So Diana's trying to set up a situation where like I stick in Deanne's head. So that's gonna be June 19th, and then June 29th I'm doing 313. And like I said, I think I gotta get this date in my spreadsheet because I keep forgetting to do it, and I believe it's like, well, I hope it's not July 25th because that'll be when we are at Mark Ridley's opening for Sean Patton.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere. I think it's like the weekend before that, though. That's when I'm going to be in Sheboygan. I think is the weekend before the Sean Patton weekend at Ridley's, which is July 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Yeah, and you're in the safe spot. If Sean brings his own opener, you're gonna get nudged to MC and I'm gonna be out.
It sounds like he's not, but it also doesn't sound like I'm locked into that spot though. We can talk about that later. Okay. I don't want to pull the curtain back too much. And it's not a big deal. It's like a normal thing that happens. It's not like I'm being like blindsided by the fact that I might not be on that weekend. It's like a normal thing that happens, but I don't want to like
a regular club thing. I want to give a shout out to Abe Froman, good friend of ours. Is super talented. Promised that we'd be friends forever. I have the Lucha Cantina Comedy Night in Rockford, Illinois, next Saturday, June 7th. The weekend after that, the 13th and 14th, Santiago has a race in Ohio. I'm going to support. I haven't gone in since my dad died, because it's in the very tiny town my dad lived in. And I told Santiago all the past years, I love you, but I can't go there without wanting to put a Molotov cocktail through his wife's house.
Wait, is that a weekend? Mm-hmm. How far is that? Like, how much of a drive is that?
It's like 5 hours from here.
Should I like come with you and we record from like her porch?
The embers warming our backs.
we're just recording. We're just like recording, and during the whole recording, you're just like mixing the. You're just trying to get the cloth. It's like a bartender. You're like. You're just like a mixologist.
We have this. It pairs well with revenge.
Oh yes. That's petrol. Petrol and revenge. That's the classic combination. Please garnish that with some mint.
We'll see how my mental state is that weekend. I have 8 years of feelings attached to that place. And then June 16th, I am at Comedy Outlet Mondays in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
I am on either I think I'm on the 23rd for Blind Pig.
Okay.
I think I'll be on the 2nd or the 9th for Max.
I think I'm the opposite for both of those. I'm the 9th. I'm definitely the 9th on Blind Pig. I already have that date. But Max, I think I put in for like the last 2 Mondays.
And yeah, I have Bombs Away July 12th, and then
nice.
Yeah, our Sean Patton weekend. So I have like June is busy, but not as much with comedy stuff, just personal stuff.
Yeah.
And then August is I have Laughter in the Lakeshore in August, the last weekend, but my August is very light as well.
Yeah. So my schedule is very light, and that is because I've been, like I said, probably wallowing in fascism for too long, and that's just kind of like killed any drive or desire that I have to try to get booked on things. Like, I mean, I'm going to open mics and stuff, but I'm trying to break out of that, trying to get back into the booking game. And I know a lot of like newer comics are starting to watch this, so if you're watching this, your boy's available. Hit me up. Get into the DMs. Anything else?
No, it's been good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too. Hopefully we can get back onto a schedule again. Hopefully my depression doesn't keep us away from recording for too much. All right. That's it from us for this week. Hopefully you see us again next week. And
you need to say
we
thank
will see you guys.